Welcome to the Mighty Emotions Podcast. I'm your host, Giselle. I'm a certified emotions coach, and I teach you how to respond better to your emotions so you can feel better in your life. My mission is to show you how to work with your emotions to become more emotionally resilient. Your emotions are not designed to overpower you, they're designed to empower you. On this podcast, I share what our emotions are, how to understand them and work with them, and the tools you need to reclaim your power and get unstuck from emotional pain so you can find fulfillment in your life again. I'm so glad you're here. Now let's get into the episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to another episode of the Mighty Emotions Podcast with me, your host, Giselle. I'm so glad that we're back. I wanted to make an episode following last week's episode on self-sabotage and why that happens and how we can kind of navigate that. And what it really inspired this episode was that I was watching a video and it was all about, achieving your goals, going for your goals this year. And there was a phrase in it that has just really stuck with me. And I can't I can't get it out of my mind, this phrase. The woman who was making the video, I love her videos. She's really she makes great videos, motivational, personal development. And she said your emotions are not a reliable source of motivation. And she was saying, we can't let our emotions get in the way of us meeting our goals. If you feel, driven one day and then you feel kind of down the next day, like you can't let that get in the way of your goals. And I had to make an episode because she's right. She's right that your emotions are not a reliable source of motivation. But guess what? Your emotions are not meant to be a reliable source of motivation, right? Motivation, discipline, these are different things. These are kind of habits, these are behaviors that we can implement. They're also behaviors that come more naturally when we have more energy and when we're nourished. And that's what I want to talk about today is this societal messaging that you need to suppress or push your emotions aside or avoid them or ignore them so that you can reach your goals. And if your goal is to burn out and your goal is to just run yourself into the ground, then that is great advice. Follow that advice, right? But if your goal is to become resilient and your goal is to navigate life in a way that keeps you moving forward and building and building and building, if your goal is to achieve amazing things in your life and feel fulfilled, then I'm going to suggest that you don't listen to that advice, right? Because while your emotions are not designed to be a source of motivation for you, your emotions are showing you when you need care, right? That is what our emotions are for. They come to us to say, hey, you're missing a need right now. You need to take care of yourself right now. And this urge to ignore that and suppress that and just keep going is why we find ourselves burnt out or depressed or anxious. And we don't realize because we don't understand emotions. And this is why I share the work that I do and I show up the way that I show up, why I'm recording this podcast right now. Because if you've ever heard, like, don't listen to your emotions, you need to be disciplined, you need to be healthy, you need to be nourished, you need to have your needs met. And when those are met, you will accomplish everything you want to accomplish. But trying to fight that, trying to dismiss those emotions that are signaling for you, right, that you need to take care of yourself so you can just achieve these goals, you're either going to achieve the goal and be really unhappy, or it's going to take you a lot longer to achieve the goal because you're going to go through these cycles of burnout. When we are taking care of ourselves, we have the fuel, we have the energy. We don't need to try to create it. We don't need to try to find the motivation. We don't need to try to find the discipline. When we don't have that, it's because our lives are not structured in a way where our needs are getting met, where we are taking care of ourselves. We're so focused on the goal and so focused on the outcome and not paying attention or not aware of what's going on within us and what we need to achieve that goal. We need to be alive. We need to be in good health. This is why you hear about people who get sick and you hear about people who, unfortunately, horrible things happen on their journey to achieving their goals because they're not prioritizing themselves and what they need. And by what you need, I don't just mean, oh, you need food, water, or you need security, safety. Remember that we need connection, right? If we're so focused on our goals that we're working all the time and disconnected from people or disconnected from ourselves because we're not taking the intentional time to tune in with what we're going through and what we're experiencing and all the stories that are coming up, we're just pushing it aside to keep going for that goal. We are going to burn out. It is not the fault of our emotions that we're missing motivation or we're lacking motivation. It is the fault of our needs being unmet. It is the fault of us not structuring our lives in a way where our need for connection, meaning, freedom, safety, and sustenance is getting met. And our emotions are there to signal for us, hey, you're on the fast track to burnout. This is not the way you want to achieve this goal. This is not the direction you want to go in. I'm going to use the example of hunger again. If my body is telling me I'm hungry, and I'm like, you know what, this is really inconvenient right now, body. So I'm just not going to eat. I'm too focused on this task that I'm doing. So I'm going to push that hunger aside. And hey, I'm guilty of this. I've done this. So I can speak from experience that the days when I have really suppressed my hunger, I'm like, oh no, I'm too busy. I have too many things to do. I can't slow down. I can't stop. I can't pause and eat something. This is not the same as not feeling hunger, right? This is when I am feeling hunger. I know that hunger is showing up and I'm just pushing it aside because I'm focused on the tasks at hand and I'm not prioritizing myself and my needs. Those days, I'm drained, I'm miserable, I'm unhappy, right? I'm not getting the things done at an optimal level. I need to make time to pause and eat something. I need to make time to pause and nourish my body. And it's the same with our other needs as well, with our need for meaning, right? Connection. These are things that we really overlook. But when our needs are filled, when we are full, when we have these things in our lives, we have the energy, we have the joy, we're able to go for the things, right? When we can recognize, okay, maybe I can't meet this need right now. Maybe I'm hungry and I don't have any food on me and I'm not anywhere near getting food, right? But I can focus on taking care of myself until I can meet that need, right? And that focusing on myself, focusing on caring for myself is going to take me so much further than just suppressing it because we send the message to ourselves that we don't matter. And then those are the beliefs that we have, right? We have those stories about not being important, not mattering, not being worthy. That's what comes up when we don't take care of ourselves. We reinforce that story when my emotion is saying, hey, you need to slow down and you need to check in with yourself. You need to make time for yourself. And I say, no, I have this goal. I'm working on this goal. I'm focused on this goal and I need to be motivated for this goal, right? You're sending the message that this goal is more important than you, that this goal matters more than you matter. And that story is just going to compound and compound. It's going to continue to create the negative spiral that we tend to go down. It's going to continue to push us further and further away from getting that need met, less and less motivation. And again, I'm speaking from personal experience, which is why I'm sharing this. Do not ignore your emotions on your path to your goal. Your emotions are going to help you achieve your goals more than anything else because they're going to signal for you when you need to shift your focus to taking care of yourself. And when you take care of yourself, you're going to have all the energy, all the fuel, all the motivation you need to achieve the things you want to achieve. Like I was sharing in my last episode about self-sabotage. When we're out of alignment, we're going to sabotage, right? We're going to say, I have this goal, but guess what? This other thing is more important right now, right? This isn't how I see myself. This identity doesn't align. Without looking at the stories that come up that prevent us from stepping into that new identity, right? We're not going to have the energy or the fuel to achieve that thing. And we can force ourselves and we can push ourselves, but to what end, right? To what end? The goal of life is to experience and to find the fullness of it, right? The joy, the pleasure, the excitement, as well as the challenges that come up along the way, right? All of it is important. And so Do not push your emotions away on your way to your goal. Do not say that your goal is more important than you. You are the most important thing. You need to be alive to get to that goal. You want to get to that goal and feel good, right? And when I hear things like our emotions are not sources of motivation, no. They're not designed to be sources of motivation. They're designed to be signals for when we need care and when we have to take care of ourselves. And if we're taking care of ourselves, we're going to get to our goals so much faster. A lot of times we think, okay, I'm just going to do, again, focus on the external. I'm just going to do these things. When really it's the internal work and the internal nurturing that's going to set us up to excel. I've been struggling lately because my daughter is going through some kind of a sleep regression. Super fun, not really. And last night I actually got sleep because I was like, you know what? I'm not getting up. My husband will have to he has to help me here. I can't go another day without getting sleep. So last night I got some sleep. And I can tell you that I have way more motivation to work today, to show up today, to ideate, to strategize, to do these things that I haven't been able to do for the past few days. I could have tried to push through, but my brain did not have the oxygen. So what was the quality of the work I was going to do? It was going to be poor quality. It wasn't going to help me. I needed to go, you know what? No, we got to slow down. We got to focus on really being gentle with ourselves. We got to focus on really taking care of ourselves. The sleep will come when that need is met. You will have the energy again. You will be able to get the things done that you want to get done, right? And there's a lot of things in my life that I need to shift around as well because there's a lot of needs that I'm not really prioritizing. And I know we get our needs met 80% of the time, right? That's what we're aiming for, 80%. That's when we can function the most optimally because 100% just isn't possible, and that's okay. But with 80% of our needs met, we're going to have all the motivation and energy we need. We're going to have the clarity. We're going to be able to go after the things, right? We don't need to push our emotions aside. We need to say, oh, okay, my emotion is coming up. Let me take care of myself. Let me take care of this thing. And then we continue on our path to your goals. So if you really, really want to meet your goals this year in 2023, if you really are like, this is the year, I need to get this thing done, do not ignore your emotions. Learn to understand them. Learn to know what they're saying to you. Listen to them. Don't push them aside. Don't suppress them because listening to them and taking that aligned action to respond to what they're showing you you need to respond to is going to rocket fuel you, propel you into the things that you want, have the things that you want, get the goals met. All of that is going to happen as a result of taking care of yourself. So often we suppress and we suppress and suppress and suppress our needs. And then we're like, oh, I'm exhausted. I need a vacation. Right. And then we take a week off or, whatever it is. And vacations are really important. But imagine we were taking that intentional time all along the way, right? A little bit each day, right? We were prioritizing those things each week. We would not get to that point. We wouldn't need to take that full week off, right? That we sometimes even feel guilty for because we know we have responsibilities, right? It's okay to have emotions come up. They are here to serve you. Every emotion is showing you what you most need right now. And I want you to remember that. You can have your goals, you can achieve amazing things, you can live a great life, but you need to take care of yourself along the way. And that is why we practice emotional resilience. And that is why we work with our emotions. So, with that, I hope that this has resonated with you in some way. And if it has, message me on Instagram, mighty_emotions. Let me know. Send me a DM. You can also DM me at mightyemotions.com. Sign up for my free membership. There'll be more stuff added to there every month. I'm excited to grow that. So head over to mightyemotions.com. Let me know if this was helpful for you, if this kind of shifted some perspective and awareness for you. And in my website, mightyemotions.com, you can download the core needs wheel if you're like, but I'm not really sure what my need is right now, or I don't really know what all my core needs are. Download the core needs wheel. I'll also leave it linked below. And it will help you. It's a guide, it's a framework, it's a really useful structure to paint a picture that you could see, oh, this is what I'm needing right now. This is what I'm needing. And you can create a plan to get that need met. Build it into your goals and you will achieve amazing things. Build the self-care in. Build the, prioritize those buckets of your life. And the goals it'll just happen naturally. It will happen naturally because you'll have the energy to achieve it, right? So head over to mightyemotions.com, check the link below, and I cannot wait to speak to you guys on another episode. I'm really proud of everyone who's doing the work, showing up, nurturing themselves, and I just hope you continue to be gentle with yourself. Good luck. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. It would mean so much if you could subscribe, leave a review, share with your friends and family, and let me know what you think by going to my Instagram at mighty_emotions and connecting with me and letting me know what you loved about today's episode. It really means a lot that you support this podcast, and I love coming to you each week with a new episode. So be sure to subscribe, let me know what you think, and take care of yourself.